In this video, we will demonstrate how to conduct an online notarization on the eNotaryLog platform. To get started, select the Notarization drop-down menu on the left-hand side of the screen. Then go down and select Notary Queue. From the Notary Queue, you can locate the notarization you would like to start by searching with keywords in the search bar, scrolling down the list in the queue, or, if your signer has already begun the process, to join the session by finding the session in the Notary dashboard. There are two ways to join the session. From the session in the queue, select More and scroll down to Join. Or, if your signer is already in the waiting room, select Join. The signer enters the waiting room only after they've completed their equipment check, passed identity verification, and have selected Ready to indicate they are ready to join the session. Once you are in the session, the first thing you will need to do is select the county you are located in during this notarial act. Next, you will go to the Notary Journal at the top of the screen and fill out your Notary Journal as required by your applicable state laws. eNotaryLog will automatically maintain your Notary Journal for you. You are able to add additional signers and witnesses through the Notary Journal with the Add Signer and Add Witnesses buttons. Scrolling down, you can see the signer's information. If your signer has lost or forgotten their PIN code, which they will need to input before they're able to begin signing, you can resubmit their PIN code by selecting the Send PIN button. Do note that the PIN will be sent to the email address listed in the signer's information. For this practice session, KBA and credential analysis were not required. But if they were, you would have a View button, which you could select to view the identification they uploaded for credential analysis and confirm that they had passed KBA. Once the Notary Journal has been filled out and you are ready to move on, select Save and Close. The Notify Participants button on the top toolbar is useful if you want to send a reminder to the signer that the session will begin soon, along with the link and PIN code the signer needs to join the session. To do so, select the signer you want to remind and select the reminder you wish to send. Once you are ready to begin the live audio-video session with your signers, select the Start Session button. You will see your audio-video feed, as well as those of your signers, pop up on the left-hand side of your screen. You may now communicate with your signers in real time and begin conducting the notarial process as usual. Once you and your signers are ready to begin executing the documents, uncheck the Signer's Page Lock button on the top toolbar. Until you do so, your signers will be unable to see or interact with the document. Next, select the signer's name from the Active Signer drop-down menu to the top right. This will prompt the signer to enter their PIN code. Once they do, they will be able to begin signing the document. For a more in-depth look at the signer experience, please check out our Signer Experience video. If you have multiple documents to execute, you can move between the documents by either selecting the Document drop-down menu at the top of the screen, or by selecting the panel button on the left side of the toolbar to navigate through the documents. Now, let's review the different tools you have available to you on the main toolbar, beginning from left to right. The Hand button changes your cursor to a hand to easily manipulate the document. The Select button changes your cursor so that you are able to select items within the document, such as tags. Next, we have our zoom controls. You can either zoom in or out, or select the level of zoom for the document. The plus and minus buttons in the middle of the toolbar allow you to add or remove blank pages to the end of the document, which can be helpful if, for example, you need to add a notarial certificate to the document. The X button reverts the document to its pre-session state. The Form Fields button allows you to add signature and initial tags during the session. The tags placed this way will be tied to the current active signer, so make sure the correct active signer is selected before placing any signature or initial tags. We will explore tagging in more detail in a separate tagging video. The checkmark and radio buttons allow you to place the same on the document. The VA disclaimer button is specific to Florida notaries. If you are not a Florida notary, you may disregard this button. Selecting the VA disclaimer button causes the vulnerable adult disclaimer to pop up on the signer screen. This is necessary for certain transactions. Please reference Florida Notarial Law for more information on when this disclaimer is appropriate. The Stamps button allows you to access your electronic seal to be placed on the document. The Search Tool button allows you to add a notarial certificate to the document. Select the type of notarial certificate you need for this transaction. A pop-up will allow you to fill in the certificate. Once your certificate is filled out, select Submit and then click on the document where you would like to place the notarial certificate. The Whiteout button allows you to cover up text on a document. If the document is not pre-tagged, you and your signer will use the Signature tool to add your signatures and initials to the document. To do this, select the Signature tool button, select your signature, and then click on the document where you would like to place your signature. You can resize and move the signature once it has been placed. If you are unsatisfied with your signature or initials, you can replace them by selecting the trash can icon beside the signature or initial and then selecting Add New Signature or Initial. Your signers will not have signatures or initials already uploaded, so they will need to create their signatures and initials in the session. When adding a signature, you can either type or draw the signature and select whether to use blue or black ink. If the document has been pre-tagged, then you can add your signatures by simply double-clicking on the tag. Your signers will be prompted to create their signature when they double-click their first signature tag. All tags can be completed by double-clicking them. Finally, there is the Free Text button, which will allow you to add text to the document by selecting the Free Text button and clicking on the document. Once placed, the free text field can be resized and moved. To add text, double-click the free text field. The palette icon allows you to style the text by changing its size or color. To remove the free text field, select the trash can icon. When the documents have been executed and notarized, you can complete the session by selecting the Complete button at the bottom of the screen. Please note that required tags that have not been filled out will prevent you from completing the session. And if you are performing a practice session, do not complete the session, as eNotaryLog charges for completed sessions. That concludes the overview for conducting a notarization on the eNotaryLog platform.